Quick question. What are you like in conflict? Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aaron. This is the Bible Applied, where we choose a bit of the Bible and just go through it. Today, we're going to be going through Titus 1, verses 10 to 16. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to check that you are on the right track. Let's get into it. Here we go. For there are many rebellious people, full of meaningless talk and deception, especially those of the circumcision group. They must be silenced because they are disrupting whole households by teaching things they ought not to teach, and that for the sake of dishonest gain. Guys. One of Crete's own prophets has said it. Cretans are always liars, evil brutes, lazy gluttons. This saying is true. Therefore, rebuke them sharply, guys, so that they will be sound in the faith and will pay no attention to Jewish myths or to the merely human commands of those who reject the truth. To the pure, all things are pure. But to those who are corrupted and do not believe, nothing is pure. In fact, both their minds and their consciences are corrupted. They claim to know God, but by their actions they deny Him. They are detestable, disobedient, and unfit for doing anything good. So what are you like in conflict? I did a personality test, and that tells me that I'm okay in conflict, I just don't like people saying nasty things about me. Apparently, I'm able to give a real hard line. I can say the things that people don't want to hear, but I don't like them saying it to me. If you have a Bible or you've got an app open that can highlight or take notes or whatever, what I want you to do is circle, underline, put little lines round, point arrows towards the first word of this passage. What is it? It's for. It's because. It links back to what has just been said. That's really important that we get that. For! What did we talk about before? The elders who were role models. They were the people who were leading the church, and they needed to be blameless because Crete was full of people that weren't. So he describes three types of people in this passage, not just one. So there's three. The first one was the Jews. Now we don't know if they were Jewish believers or they were Jews, we don't know. But we can find out that they were wrecking the house churches that were going on at that time. They were coming in and teaching different things and doing all of that so that they could get some sort of money from it or some sort of gain. Now Paul had spotted this and he wanted Titus to sort it out. The second group of people were the Cretans, not the Cretans. The Cretans. These guys were a tough crowd. Historically, we know that Crete was full of people who were mercenaries. That's like guns for hire. They would go out and fight and then get paid for it. Nice island. It was also a great place for trade, so there was a lot of wealthy people there. Actually, it was a bit of a party island. And the third group of people were Titus and the elders. They were going to swoop in and sort all of this out. But what is the main point of this? Good churches stand against bad teaching. Good churches stand against bad teaching. Good churches, bad teaching. What he's saying is Christians should practice what they preach. Pause. What on earth is verse 15 about?
Good question.
Let me ask you this question. Now bear with me here because this is a bit weird. I'm assuming that when you wake up in the morning and you have a full English breakfast, that you don't think that that bacon or sausages or whatever it is going to defile you. It's going to make you ritually unpure. Ritually? Is that a word? Ritually impure. That's what I should have said, not impure. I just made up a word. So apparently the Jewish people here thought that it would. And that's what they were teaching people. Don't do that because it might make you impure. Don't do that, you can't do that because you can't eat that thing, you shouldn't do that thing because it might make you impure. And Paul is saying, no, you've misunderstood. If you are spiritually pure because you believe in the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, then you don't need to worry about all that. Eat as much bacon as you want. Good news! You are not going to become ritually unclean by eating bacon. But Paul says that the Jewish people here weren't pure. They'd obviously didn't believe in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. They hadn't allowed him to make them pure. So there was nothing that could make them pure. They couldn't be made pure by stopping from eating bacon or from doing all these different things that they did. Okay, does that make sense? So the pure, all things are pure, but to those who aren't, nothing is pure. Anyway, let's move on.
Application.
What are the actions in this passage? Number 1, they must be silenced. Number 2, we need to rebuke them sharply. Guys! Now before you go on a rampage, just remember whose job it was to do the rebuking. Who was to do the silencing? It was the elders. That's what the big 4 is about at the start. It was the elders' job to be able to do this. They were the ones that should be running in to talk to these guys about not changing the message of Jesus Christ. One thing that's really helpful for me is that in verse 16 it says they claim to know God, but by their actions they deny him. Now that's a really good sign of whether we believe in Jesus Christ. So the question becomes, are you applying this? What is going to be your application? What's going on in your life at the moment is a reflection of what is happening to you spiritually. So how are you doing? How's your life? And what's going on spiritually? So the big application for us is that we would see evidence of faith in our lives. As you look back over your life, are you seeing increasing evidence that you are a person of faith? Are you seeing that there's more and more choices that you are making that are for God rather than against him? Now, if you look back over your life and you see there's no evidence of real faith, then today is a great day to start. I would start by praying, by saying, Lord Jesus, help me to follow you. And then I would go out and think about things that I could do differently because of the fact that I have been saved by our amazing God. And if you haven't done it yet, then I think one of the greatest things that you can do to publicly say, I am going to believe this, that this is for me, one of those things to do is to get baptized. Now, baptism in Matthew's Gospel was always the start of a journey of faith. It was something they did when they repented, they believed, and then they were baptized. So it happened at the start of that journey. So maybe for you, you're on that journey, and maybe it's time for you to get baptized. Maybe choose today something that will show people evidence that you have a saving faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. And that is video 3. Steve's challenge. Okay, Steve's challenge. There's a challenge that Steve has set me to see if I can do any better. If you think you can do better, then see if you can upload a video to the Facebook group. You'll be able to find that by going to the Facebook page, liking the Facebook page for the Bible Applied, and find the Facebook group. Okay, here we go. This one. It says, balance a ball on your finger, the longest time wins. Balance a ball on your... Okay, hang on. Balance a ball on your finger, the longest time wins. Now, I've never been any good at this, okay? So I'll see if I can spin this ball, balance it on my finger, and if you can do better than me, then see if you can take a video of yourself and upload it and see if we'll just see who can do the longest time. Here we go. You ready? You've got to spin it, right? Am I doing this on the correct hand? So that was about a second. There we go. That was another second. Is this collectively or can I? 1, 2, 3. Right, 2 seconds. Here we go. I'm going to see if not spinning it means I can do it better. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2. Woo! 2 seconds. That's the most I can do. That's pathetic. Right, let's see if you can do any better. See if you can upload your video to the group, and I'll see it there.